The Hard Thing About Hard Things by Ben Horowitz isn't like most business management books. Instead, it's an honest, open look at Horowitz's life as an entrepreneur and venture capitalist in Silicon Valley. The book shows how hard it is to run a new business, showing both the good times and the hard, often heartbreaking times. Ben Horowitz, one of the founders of the venture capital firm Andreessen Horowitz, talks about his time as CEO of the software company Opsware, which he sold to Hewlett-Packard in 2007 for $1.6 billion. Horowitz shares his valuable insights and tips for entrepreneurs, leaders, and anyone interested in the business world through the story of his own life. Horowitz starts off by talking about what it's like to start a business, which he calls a war in and of itself. From dealing with tough competition to finding and keeping good employees to making hard financial choices, the process is a constant struggle that requires courage and resiliency. Horowitz's story is built around the idea of the wartime CEO and the peacetime CEO. The first group has to deal with immediate threats and extreme situations, and sometimes they have to make tough, unpopular choices to keep the company alive. The second one, on the other hand, can focus on growing, spending in the future, and keeping things as they are. Horowitz says that most management books are about tactics for times of peace, which are useful but can be useless or even hurtful in times of war. One of the most important parts of the book is when Horowitz talks about how Opsware was just a few weeks away from going bankrupt. The company had lost most of its big clients, and the price of its stock went down. Horowitz had to make hard choices, like firing a lot of people and reorganizing, to keep the company going. Horowitz's lessons become most clear when he has to go through hard times. Horowitz says that building a good company culture is very important. He says that culture isn't about perks like free food or open hours, but rather the values that help people make decisions and act the right way when things are hard. For example, at Opsware, Horowitz set up a culture of honesty and openness. This helped everyone understand the company's purpose and get through hard times together. The Hard Thing About Hard Things is also full of tips on how to do hard things like hire executives, handle layoffs, deal with politics, and even let people go the right way. One thing that stuck with me was his advice on how to hire people. Don't just hire for skills, hire for strength. That means hiring people who can do well in the circumstances your company is going through. But how Horowitz deals with fear, self-doubt, and the mental toll of being an entrepreneur may be the book's most powerful theme. It's rare for a business leader to talk so openly about stress and anxiety in their own lives, but Horowitz does so to remember people that leaders are people too. He says that your job as CEO is to deal with hard things, even if they seem impossible. No matter how hard things get, it's important to keep going. The hard thing about hard things is not a happy ending like in a fairy tale. Instead, it's an honest account of the struggles, sacrifices, and hard choices that come with starting and running a business. It teaches us that there are no easy answers when it comes to business leadership, which is exactly why it's so hard. But Ben Horowitz's story shows that this is also what makes it so gratifying. In short, The Hard Thing About Hard Things by Ben Horowitz is a useful guidebook for business leaders who need to navigate the rough seas of entrepreneurship. It's a reminder that even though the way may be hard and full of unknowns, having courage, staying strong, being honest, and working hard can lead to great things. This book's heartfelt and honest story about the struggles of being an entrepreneur is both enlightening and inspiring, and it can teach anyone who wants to go into business or lead a group a lot of important lessons. The Hard Thing About Hard Things has something for everyone, whether you're a seasoned CEO, an aspiring entrepreneur, or just someone interested in the harsh facts of the business world.